Welcome back, everybody, to another amazing episode of Shape Shift Your Life podcast. Today is extra special. I actually have, and this is my first time getting to say this, in studio guests.
Yes.
So today's episode is all about a prelude to spring. We want to make sure that we continue moving with momentum for 2026. The year of one. How do we deepen and reflect what's going on in our bodies and really make sure that whatever our North Star is this year, that we exceed it? That being said, my special guests today are Vivianne Njoku and Angie B, two amazing practitioners I've had an opportunity to get to know personally over the last 4 years of residing here in Mexico City. They are producers, they are in their own right, and we have had the pleasure of collaborating on a couple of events over the last couple of years, which is really beautiful. And we have a really powerful offering that we want to share with you all today. But I want to turn it over to them to get to introduce themselves.
My name is Vivianne Njoku. I come to this work through a lot of different avenues. I am a daily meditation practitioner. I practice in the style of Vipassana. And I think that has been a foundation for my spiritual practice. Having that practice of daily stillness and introspection does allow me to open up and receive. I am an artist, a multidisciplinary artist. You can find me painting, making music, writing, acting, performance artist. And I'm also a producer, a very broad range of work that I find myself engaged with here locally in Mexico City, also in New York City, where I was before moving here. I've been in Mexico City for 7 years.
Wow.
Resident.
Permanent.
Resident.
Oficial.
Pay my local taxes, speaking the language. What else y'all got? So just grateful to be here.
My name is Angie B, and I am an intuitive guide for highly attuned souls, which are people who are empathic, meaning they can feel the feelings of other people, and those who are highly sensitive, feeling and seeing different expressions in the world, such as having sensitivities to light, sound, or maybe even I came into this work through my own lived experience of being an empath and highly sensitive person and not actually knowing how to define that back then. Highly sensitive and empathic, those were words that I learned later in life. And now that I actually have the language to express it, I am able to tune deeper into it and teach others how to set boundaries and how to operate from their own energy instead of absorbing all of the external energies that are around them, whether that's through their family members, society, through different spaces and experiences that they are in.
Well, welcome. So let's get into it. As we talked about this idea of seasonal emergence and why it matters now about this moment, this 2026, we're coming out of the new Chinese lunar year, which we know is all about the horse. The horse is very much about what is earthly, what can be touched, what is tangible, right? Also, this acceleration of fire energy. Fire is the spark. Fire is transformative. We are also in this eclipse season, the season of making things visible. Have some powerful transformations as regarding Aries. We're in this 1 year. We are living in times that many of us never even thought were possible. Times we watched in movies, read in books, and we're living it in this moment. We are the ones that have decided to incarnate in this time and to experience this shift and experience the arc of it. I think that a lot of people are really struggling right now because everything that we thought to be true or was taught to be true, we're learning where that illusion lies. And it can be overwhelming to have to face it and to see it in real times, not only in the world, but also as it relates in our own physical bodies, our day-to-day lived experience. But what I'm clear about is that we have to see it in order to heal it, in order to transform it. It's easy to say, I want transformation. And you just want to wake up and everything has already been transformed.
Yeah.
Like, no, transformation means every step of that. From entering to being in it, to walking out of it, to looking back at it and saying, I did that. So when we think about this idea of seasonal emergence, what does it mean for you? How do you kind of take all the things that are swirling in the cosmos right now with the seasons of the world and your own individual season?
I would say seasonal emergence has been about really returning to the natural seasons, winter, spring, summer, and fall. And as an example, this winter season, I spent a lot of time resting and resetting, being with family and allowing myself that time and space to really just be very gentle with myself as opposed to being on go mode. We've normalized being on go mode, and I've also been able to tap deeply into a creative space.
When I think about seasonal emergence, I feel like I came into the Gregorian calendar year really hot and heavy,
Like most of us.
like most of us, even knowing that, it is a particular framing that doesn't align with nature's rhythms of emergence. I learned to not repeat that, to stay in tune with like the energy of a little bit of hibernation, a little bit of rest. And now that we are coming into late February, early March, I'm feeling the spark within myself. I just came from Carnival in Veracruz and tuning into like how present this sort of celebration is globally. There was Mardi Gras in Brazil, Carnival in Mexico, in the Caribbean. It also is like tied to the Lent season, the time to take stock of where you are and get into a season of renewal as well. And also Ramadan, it lets us know nature is speaking no matter what.
So part of seasonal emergence is this idea of, yes, we're living in the world. There's the seasons that the world is going through, and we're also in our own personal seasons. And to move from the intellectual knowing into listening to the body as a living system, to give us those messages, to keep the score, to be a compass of how we can navigate this time. Part of technology and the go, go, go that we're living in is we're always removed from our bodies. And when we get caught up in flight or flight, we're out of our body. When your nervous system is constantly overwhelmed, you're not grounded and anchored in your body. And one of the things that is so critical about this time is we have to be anchored in the decisions we're making. We have to be anchored in the words that we're speaking. We have to be anchored in what we're calling in for ourselves. Wishy-washy energy is going to get you knocked over right now. So I want you to talk a little bit more, Angie, about ways that we can listen to the body and how that can support us in navigating.
That's such a great point because everything is holistic and most of us are operating from our neck up, which means we are just only in our mind and not actually taking stock of what's happening in our body. And as you mentioned, our body keeps score. So the emotions, everything that we're feeling, if we are not finding a way to process it in a healthy way, it settles into our body and it becomes what you know as dis-ease or disease. And in order for us to anchor into this year of 2026, this number one year in numerology of moving forward and moving with full steam ahead, we have to look at everything from a holistic standpoint. Instead of focusing your energies and absorbing everything that is happening outside of the world, body scanning is taking a moment to tune in with your own body and where your body is speaking to you. Body scanning is not anything mystical. It's very simple and it connects your mind with your body. It's simply taking a moment to slowly move your attention and your awareness throughout different parts of your body and checking in to see where you might be feeling sensations. And so 3 things that you can look for is number 1, temperature. If I'm focusing on my head, am I feeling more heat? Am I feeling more coolness? Expansion or contraction? Are you feeling as if this area of your body is more open or do you feel it being tight? And the third thing to look for is energy. Are you feeling any heaviness in a particular area? Or is it feeling light? Are you feeling buzzing in your body? Are you feeling any tingling? These are 3 different areas that you can focus on as you are scanning your body. Thank you.
That was such a beautiful way to frame power of body scanning. It reminds me very much of my daily practice of Vipassana meditation. That is really the essence is being in alignment with the sensations in your body. Really is a very practical way to recognize when you are out of alignment. And having that tool is powerful, ideally even beyond this offering.
Absolutely. And we're all scanning our phones all day, scanning the computer, scanning what everybody else got going on. But I think what you both are really saying is how to turn that lens inward.
Absolutely.
Listening and looking within you. It's so easy to spend your time telling the world what's wrong, but it's an entirely different conversation to turn that inward. So I want to shift into that. You all know that I work with the chakras in my practice, and actually I have a free downloadable gift. Chakras is a Sanskrit word for wheel. They are energetic centers, and we actually have hundreds of chakras. Many of us are familiar with our 7, and we're going to talk about the main 7. Basically, the way that energy is able to move in our body is with a frequency, and frequency is attached to emotion. And the higher the frequency and the different level of emotion it is, allows us to have a higher vibration. And that vibration works as a magnet that allows us to magnetize what it is that we want to call in. So when we're spending time on low frequency activities, low frequency foods, struggle plates, low frequency relationships,
Trauma bonding.
just living in the world, there's enough things trying to keep you at a low frequency. We don't want to cause ourselves extra work. We want to be in tune. So as we think about our 7 chakras, we have the root chakra, the sacral, the solar plexus, the heart, the throat, the third eye, crown. I'm not going to go into what each one represents, but today, what chakra has been tapping on your shoulder? What part of your body has been getting your attention more than others?
It's the heart. It is the heart. It is the heart. It is the heart. It's been calling me to really and truly let love lead, especially in times when it's challenging. When you allow yourself to step into a practice of actively loving, it's as if one is opening up. It's funny because I'm feeling it as I'm saying. So I'm like, when one allows, I'm gonna speak from the eye.
Well, that's the heart, right?
That's the heart.
The vulnerability.
Yes,
Yep.
exactly.
That was it in real time.
Yes.
Yep.
I'm telling you, I'm feeling, I'm like, why am I doing
Don't
this?
edit that out. Let that roll.
Let that roll. I'm going to speak from the eye. Let me speak up. Let me jump into this because it's what I'm actually working with presently. And I'm recognizing that when I allow myself to actively love and to be in that practice, it is such an incredible way to step into a new portal of existence. It's such an incredible way to step into another realm of engagement with spirit and co-creation with spirit. And so I'm here for this practice of letting love lead, spread the love, be the love, see the love, receive the love.
Touch the love.
Absolutely.
And vulnerability is surrendering.
Yes.
And surrendering requires so much courage. So where do you feel like this connection is asking you to deepen as you love more? What are you deepening into?
I love that you asked that. I love that you asked that. I'm deepening into staying open, especially when I'm not feeling that there is love reciprocated. I'm deepening into not allowing myself to be closed off. And that's not to say, because I believe very deeply in reciprocity, but it is to say when I know that I'm on this path of active love, not to allow myself to be deterred. So here's a great example, actually. I smiled at someone on the sidewalk yesterday. Just was like, I was feeling, because I'm in an active practice. And she had her face all turned up. And one response to that could be like, oh, you too.
Right.
But that is not the practice I'm in. So the practice I'm in is like, well, whatever's going on with her, compassion and love, keep it moving. We all know we can be like, y'all are my sisters. We love each other. And love flows freely when we're in that shared energy. It's not easy to let it flow when it's not so evident, but it feels actually more important to continue the practice regardless.
And that my love isn't even about you.
Say that one more time. One more
It's not
time.
even about you. Like, I love myself so much. This is actually a Christian song. I love myself so much that I could love you so much, that you could love you so much, that you could start loving me.
Ooh,
That is so beautiful. And vulnerability takes so much courage. And that has really been what I've been leaning into over the last 3 years. I had an astrology reading, I want to say it was about 2.5 years ago. And she said, vulnerability is going to open the doors for success for you. I was tense in my jaws. I was grinding my teeth. And a lot of that came from not really speaking my truth and not allowing myself to be vulnerable and say what I needed to say. And when I think about what's coming up for me right now, I would say solar plexus, which is right underneath the heart. That for me is all about self-confidence, visibility, and allowing myself to be seen. I have been in a place of great, massive transformation and creativity. I've created 3 products in the last 2.5 months. What I keep hearing from my spirit guides are, Angie, you need to allow yourself to be seen. Let people know what you got going on. And so I think for me, it's somewhere between the solar plexus mainly and then the heart.
Angie, that is really fascinating that you are connecting right now to that solar plexus energy. The solar plexus is connected to the fire element. And so I'm curious, how are you thinking about reclaiming your power?
So my reclamation has really been around creating and building from sourcing my own energy. Because I am empathic and I feel other people's energies and feelings, I have spent the majority of my life not knowing how to differentiate what energy is mine and what is theirs. And I have a very clear boundary now of what is my energy and what is not, and teaching them how to treat me. I am setting boundaries and not allowing myself to be caught up in other people's stuff.
What's coming up for you, Zakia?
I feel like what's really where my head has been calling my attention. And in the Yoruba tradition, that's our Ori, which is our first God. And I'm so full in every aspect of my life that my spirit is calling me into silence, into darkness, into meditation, into stillness, into quiet, tapping into the power of my Egbe, which are my spiritual twins in heaven, which also feels very much connected to my head, turning off the conscious part of my mind, calling my attention like, this is what it looks like when you don't. I get migraines. When you don't, you're overwhelmed, you're tired. And like, it's not just like a choice of, it's like part of my self-preservation and practice that allows me to navigate and to.
As you have been moving deeper into this space of quieting the mind and tuning in, what visions or clarity are starting to emerge?
As I deepen into the darkness, what emerges is the voices of the spirits that walk with me. And I just hear them. They just be talking like, girl, you need to do this. You need to let that go. Like,
Yeah.
why haven't you thought about just like reimagining my life? I think sometimes the shadow of the head, being too on the intellectual conscious side of the head
Yes, yes.
versus the subconscious part of it. There's 2 parts of the same coin. So it's like when I turn off my voice and I'm able to tap in and turn on like the frequency of spirits that I can't hear. And so wisdom emerges, balance emerges, peace and a calm and spaciousness and a grace, confidence of like, wow, I'm being too hard on myself. Gratitude emerges.
I love that. That also reminds me of this winter season for myself. One thing that I have really been loving about this season has been being in a quiet, confident energy as opposed to like, because all the things that I'm working on, it's so exciting that I do want to share it with the world, or at least like my closest people. And even with y'all, I just been quiet. And it feels so good to be in that space, moving the ego out of the way and allowing our guides, our ancestors to really, really come through and give us wisdom and clarity in such a quiet, confident.
I love both of you all tapping into this energy of finding space and stillness in order to receive messages. I think that's also a lot of what's coming up as I'm working with this heart energy and this love energy is beginning with the listening to the body and finding stillness so that you can hear what the body. When I was in the energy of certain people or certain conversations, I would actually feel the physical like contraction around this part of the body, and giving myself the grace to not like, go into this like harsh self-narrative and really just sit with what was going on with the sensation. It actually gave me more space to hear that divinity. Just relax. Just let this be. Send her some love. keep smiling. I love that it's showing up for all of us in different ways
Right.
in order to
Me
allow
too.
us to tune in.
And how the body will talk to you in its own, like, its own way.
Yes.
Like
Mhm.
it's
Yes.
curated for you. And that's what the seasonal emergence is really all about. It's how we can listen and scan and tap in and receive messages and use that information. Like, that's powerful data points, right?
Yes.
And so everyone's going to get a special goodie package that really allows you all to go through all 7 chakras, do that scan for yourself. There's going to be some music in there, guided body scan, and a downloadable PDF. So that's our gift to everybody. And that really kicks off what we're calling part 1 of this 3-part series of seasonal emergence, giving folks the tools that they can really carry forth. And so the first part is about reflection, tapping into your own physical body, gleaning those messages, and then using that information. And then we have a really exciting second part for those that want to partake. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes, we're going to take all of your reflections. And so, for those of you who are in Mexico City, and let's say that you do the reflection and you're feeling a bit uncomfortable, that is the perfect call for you to join us on March the 28th, because it will be right after the spring equinox where we are budding all of these seeds that we're planting. And this will be a perfect time to come in community. You're going to map your body. You're going to find where exactly on your body you're feeling contraction, where you're feeling tension, where you're feeling expansiveness. And we're also going to anchor that in with some voice activation. It's going to be really, really powerful. And if you've ever been to one of our events, then you already know how we roll. Okay. So just know that we got you.
Thank you both for the framing this seasonal emergence series. Part 3 is going to take place May 2nd and 3rd in a beautiful retreat space known as Nikan Ka. For those of you all who are available to be here in person on the sacred land of Tenochtitlan, we're going to be moving just outside of Mexico City to Cuernavaca. And this third part is about embodiment, taking what you have reflected, what you have activated, and really putting it into practice. We are going to be working with an ancestral ceremony known as a temazcal, led by a local shaman. And for those of you all who are not familiar with the temazcal ceremony, it is a rebirth, literally stepping into the womb, emerging reborn. Again, some folks, maybe you have the opportunity to engage with a podcast and that's what you can do. That's what you can work with. Deepen into that. That's what you got. Work with it. If you want to add on, if you're able to, come on March 28th. You'll find yourself even more charged up, even more energized. We'll be in person with each other, but maybe it's one or the other. And again, part 3, maybe it's the third part of the series for you, or maybe it's the only thing you can engage with. Wherever you're at, get in where you fit in. There's space to engage in any way that feels right.
And that's what this work is all about, right? Finding yourself wherever you are, connecting with like-minded people, being able to tap into our physical bodies and find our own maps. I was just listening to another podcast and they said, we are womanist cartographers. We are charting our own maps. We are map makers. We are map builders of what this new earth is going to look like. And our physical body is the first map. That's the problem with like Western society. They try to give you a map. And where did you end up on that map? Did you find where you were trying to go? No, most of us got lost. And it was when we tapped into our own internal map that we were able to find. And so we're bringing our own pieces, you know. Angie also works in a plant medicine setting. And you mentioned the highly sensitive nature. You're coming from the Vipassana tradition. You know, I'm very much rooted in Isha. All of us has a piece. And that's what this time on the planet is about. It's about bringing your piece, connecting in person, in real time, charting your own map, making your own blueprint that's going to get you where you need to go. So as we close out, we hope that you will tap the link in bio and tap in any shape or form that feels resonant for you. I want to thank you all for joining me in studio today. I just really like saying that. And as we close out, we think about the chakras that came up for us today. Vivian, you started talking about the heart. Taji, you really tapped into the power of your solar plexus. I went to the crown chakra. Even just for today, for this moment, what is a gift? What is something that you want to give that I can start. One practice that helps me feel calm is to put on all white and to put all white on my head. So I'm going to go to bed with a white head wrap on tonight. That is my gift to my crown chakra.
Ashe.
Yeah.
I love this question in that it is also asking for expansion in the relationship to my heart chakra. And I think when I think about a gift I can give to my heart chakra, continuing to remain open, the gift of remaining fluid and staying tuned in.
And for me, and a gift to my solar plexus, I'm going to put a little more honey in this tea, first and foremost, because honey relates to the solar plexus and confidence, and to also allow myself to be more visible. So you will be seeing more of this face. So just get used to it. Y'all see.
All right. Seasonal emergence.
See y'all soon.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, it went off also.
Awesome. And then just 5 seconds of silly. Thank you for tuning in today, Shapeshifters. Your presence means the world to me, and I deeply appreciate you being here. If something resonated with you, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Leave a comment and spread the love by sharing with others. Until next time, keep shifting.